Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Brandon and Rocco, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Rocco's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and lots of motivation that we give him when we're working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandon is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any little correction that's needed. And the second piece of equipment is his training collar, which you will be introduced to tomorrow. Now he is sitting very nicely at Brandon's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for us is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Rocco, heel. At this point, Rocco has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when walking, not forging ahead or lagging behind. And when you stop your feet, Brandon had to give him a little correction to get him to sit, but that's typical Rocco. He knows to sit automatically, but sometimes he pushes it and makes you correct him before he'll actually do it. He's heeling very nicely with his nose up off the ground, and he gets a little click and praise for a good job because he's not food motivated. Now the next exercise that Brandon's going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. It's very windy out here, and he's a very distracted boy because he's always got his nose up in the air. He's always waiting to smell something that's good. This is your sit-stay. You can practice this indoors as well as outdoors and lengthen out the amount of time he can hold it and the distance that you can go. When Brandon returns back to him, he will walk right back to his shoulders, and then he gives him another heel command. Now this may not look like much, but just keeping his nose up off the ground and keeping him focused on the trainer is huge for him, and he's only gotten this good in the last week. When Brandon stops, he's supposed to sit, and he knows that, but he makes Brandon work for it every time. Brandon will leave him in another sit-stay, and he's going to demonstrate the recall, or the come on command. And you can tell, like, his nose is up in the air, he's looking at birds, he's smelling whatever he's smelling. This time Brandon will use his name and call him. Brings him right in and has him sit. Very nice. And then he gets praised for a good job, and they take off heeling again. So as you can see, he's not a dog that focuses on you, that is dying to get praise and your affection and attention. He makes very little eye contact, and I think that part of that has to do with the fact that he is intact. Brandon will leave him again in a stay. And like, he does his commands, but there's no eye contact. There's no enthusiasm. He does it because he has to, not because he wants to. Brandon will call him in again, and he uses his leash as his guide, and then he's supposed to come and sit. So when you're dealing with a dog that just doesn't care if you're happy or not, you can clearly see that he's come a long way. At least his nose is up off the ground. He's heeling with Brandon. He doesn't look unhappy. His tail is wagging. But now he'll look at something on the ground, and then Brandon will have to heel him out of that. So like we've discussed, once you have him neutered and he heals, probably in May or June, he can come back, and we will continue working on perfecting these skills. The next command is new because Rocco refused to do it for a long time, is the down command. And this took weeks of work to get him to lay down on command. And then he lays down and he gets distracted and he stands up. Now you can see that he doesn't want to do it. He's not looking. He's like, no, not going to do it. And this is just an adult male dog. His mix of breeds and everything, he's totally a self-thinker. He does things on his own time when he wants to do them, not because you're asking him to do them. And I think that these are all things that are going to improve with practice, with his neuter. And I'm totally shocked and pleased with how far he's come compared to what he was when he got here. Brandon can return back to him, or he can call him out of that. And he praises him for a good job and heals him out of that. So we're not going to put Brandon or Rocco through the ordeal of laying down again on command. But we've demonstrated for you his heel, his sit stay, his come, and his down. He is also very well crate trained, and I know that you got your crate by now. We've enjoyed having Rocco. You'll get a lesson with him tomorrow, and we'll see if you can get more out of him than we could. But we have enjoyed having him. He's been low maintenance. He does what we ask him to do as far as going out, coming in, eating dinner or whatever. He does what he's asked to do. He just doesn't do it with enthusiasm. So we've enjoyed having him. We see a big improvement. We hope that you will too. We will see you tomorrow, and then keep us posted on your progress at home.